At this time, we'd like to introduce Coach Huggins from West Virginia. Coach, your thoughts about the upcoming season?
We got to get healthy. We're a little beat up right now. When you take Sagaba out of practice, you take Beetle Bolden out of practice, it hurts your practice considerably. And those two guys haven't gone for quite a while, so you got to get healthy.
I take it you're ready for a question?
You know what? I'm not very good at just sitting here talking.
Okay, we'll take questions from the floor. You got a question for Coach Huggins? Put your hand up. We'll get a microphone to you. We got a question in the rear middle.
Myron Metcalf, ESPN. Bob, multiple teams in this league have been connected to this FBI investigation and allegations associated with that. What's your reaction to that, and what, if any, concerns do you have about a level playing field in this league and in college basketball as a whole?
Well, my first thought is I keep hearing about the state of our game, and the state of our game is really pretty good. If, in fact, which I don't think has been proven yet, that any of those things happen, they shouldn't have happened. But you're talking about, what, 4 or 5 schools at the most? There's 361 Division I schools. And I don't know how many Division II schools and Division III schools. Any corporate, ESPN would take those numbers. If you just had like 3 or 4 guys like stray off the reservation a little bit, you wouldn't say ESPN's falling apart. You'd say some people had some problems. And I think it's that way. The state of our game is, I don't think it's ever been any better than what it is now. It's, if it's not the most watched sport in America, I'm not sure what is. I mean, you guys have 3 to 6 games a night, you know. So I think the state of our game is fine. And if things happen, we all know they shouldn't have happened. But that doesn't affect the state of our game and the way people go about doing their business.
Question on the aisle over here on the right, Coach.
Coach, Drew Davis with the Four-Star Telegram. How impressed have you been with Jamie Dixon and his ability to turn TCU around in two years?
Well, I knew he would, because he was 70 miles up the road from us for a long time, and we played twice a year. So Jamie's a heck of a coach. He's a heck of a coach. His guys play really hard. They play the right way. I had, you know, it just seems like, you know, I go into, you know, we have league meetings, and you sit there, and there's 10 of us in there, and this league is so hard. It's never the same 10 guys here the next year, you know, because somebody's got to lose. And I had no doubt, you know, I'm sitting there looking over at Jamie, and I mean, you look at the guys in our league. I mean, the coaching in this league's incredible, and I think Jamie just moves it up another notch if that's possible.
Got a question straight back on the back, Coach.
Wendell Barnhouse, the open man. Bob,
It's a good thing you're here, Wendell, because nobody else wants to talk to me.
just like the conference call.
That's
right?
exactly right.
Yeah. With if you guys get healthy, will your style of play defensively change? Are you still going to press a lot, or have you been able to figure out whether you're going to be able to do that?
We're going to try to do it for not more than 40 minutes. I think we have to. I think that's kind of what we've recruited to. We have the best shot blocker in the country in the back of it, which helps considerably. And you know, it's a matter of repetition. We haven't. One of our problem has been, I think yesterday was our 18th practice, I believe, and we haven't had a full complement of guys in any of those 18 practices, and that's, you know, that makes it difficult, because you're coaching the guys that are there, obviously, but then you got to turn around and reteach everything again for those guys that weren't there. And you know, it'd be like trying to coach you guys. I mean, you sit over there and watch. You don't know what the hell's going on, but you sit over there and watch, and that's kind of what our guys do. They sit over there and watch. They don't know what's going on.
Got a question on the outside left, and then we'll come back to the inside. Wait a minute, Brian. Hold on. We got a question on the left. Try it again, Brian.
You there? There you go. Talking about Konate, when you sat down with him in the offseason, I'm assuming, when you pick apart guys and want them to get better, when you told him, to be great, you need to do X or Y, what are some of the things that you told him to really work on and take his game to the next level?
Well, what I'm told by all the NBA guys is they need their foreman to be able to switch, because they're switching everything now. And so you're going to switch, they're going to put you in a ball screen with a guard. So you've got to be able to sit down and keep the guard in front of you. I mean, nobody's saying, you got to stop them every time. And nobody stops anybody all the time in that league. But you got to be able to keep them in front of you. And, we talked to Sags about being able to do more defensively on the perimeter on a one-on-one basis. I think that's the first thing. And then, I think the other thing is you got to be able to make open shots. He doesn't necessarily have to make threes. He can, and he's worked really hard at it. But he's got to be a really consistent shooter from 17, 18 feet, because you got to be able to drag your guy away from the basket. And if you don't have to shoot a three to drag them away from the basket. If you shoot 17, 18 footers, you're going to drag them away from the basket. So that's pretty much what I was told. So I just kind of conveyed that to him.
We got a question on the aisle over here, and then we'll come back to the middle. Go ahead.
Coach, Justin Jackson with the Dominion Post. I was just kind of wondering, you were one of
the guys I was talking about sits over there. Don't know what the hell's going on, by the way.
I figured. Yeah. You're one of the few guys that have been coached in both the Big 12 and the Big East, and just kind of wondering with that challenge series starting up next year, what does that bring to both leagues? And just kind of wondering, do you have any kind of preference or place you'd want to go, revisit in the Big East?
Well, the Big East isn't the Big East that we knew. They still have some people, but it's not the Big East that we once knew. It's fun to go to New York. I like going to New York. I like going to New York and play and then leave and go home. But I like playing there. It's generally speaking, the crowd in the Garden is very knowledgeable. They're great basketball people, so I enjoy that a lot. For us, it's good because that's one less time change. That's one less trip. We can fly to virtually anywhere in the Big East in an hour. So that helps us.
We got a question on the back center. You talked about Konate. What's going on with him in terms of the injury, and will it in any way affect him at the start of the season?
No, I don't think it'll affect him at all. We're just being careful. I mean, it'd be nice to have him out there just so the other guys get used to him, but he doesn't. I mean, we can set him for another week and he'll be fine. It's just kind of precautionary.
Final question for Coach on the outside left.
Brendan Dworzynski, WWW Radio in Topeka. Coach, Issa Ahmad back for his senior year. How much higher is his ceiling than what we've already seen from him?
Well, I think a great deal. When you watch, Issa's not a big jumper. He's not, exceptionally quick or fast or whatever, but he really knows how to play. And his best games are really when he plays without the ball, because he really understands. He understands how to use screens. He understands how to take advantage of defensive people breaking down. He's got those huge hands, so he doesn't fumble balls. He can rebound a ball out of his area because he's got huge hands, and it's amazing. When Billy Hahn was with me, Billy bounced. You ever see a big ball, the ball that's twice as big as a basketball that just barely fits through the rim? He bounced one to Issa and he caught it with one, just standing there talking to us, holding it. That's big hands. So that's But I think his greatest attribute is his knowledge. He really does understand how to play.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for your comments. And,
Am I done
best
already?
of luck. You get to stop now.
I can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.